What's happening, everybody? Welcome to yet another episode of the Bring the Whiskey podcast. I am one of your hosts, Damo Hicks. I'm always here. And as usual, with me on my co-host on the far end, you have Kelvin Smith, the newbie. And in the middle, we've got our resident bourbon brain, Bo Wheeler. What's happening, fellas?
I don't know. What's in the news today?
I don't know. It's raining outside for us, so this is a good day for bourbon.
This is a great bourbon day.
Yes.
It's
Warm
brisk.
I agree.
This is a good, brisk, rainy day.
Yeah. So I did want to start off with one thing, just to throw back to one of our other podcasts real quick. Since we rank comedians, the last 2 weeks I've been consuming a lot of comedy and a lot of comedy shows, and I definitely want to. I put Dave Chappelle as anywhere in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mm-hmm. He's really number one. Period,
number one. Period.
Paragraph.
Point blank.
I went back and looked at a bunch of old stuff, new stuff, and he's on a different level. I just want to clear that up.
He seemed a little angry in some of his newer stuff, but
Don't do it.
He's still
100%.
funny.
Don't.
Still funny.
As well as he should, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. This is angry times. I mean, I understand.
Yeah. So my next guest with David Letterman on Netflix. That joint
Yeah.
just came out.
Watched it.
That's a good one with Dave Chappelle on it.
Okay.
Watched it.
Yep.
I saw that live show that he did in Ohio. When he said it's like
yeah.
one of the first ones we can try this.
Yeah, 8 minutes.
During the COVID
46
thing?
seconds.
Yeah.
Well, that was the George Floyd. He did it for as long as George Floyd was being suffocated. For the amount of time. 8 minutes, 46 seconds. Right. So anyway, again, let's get on topic today. But I just wanted to clear that up because I was sitting around the couch like, man, this dude is on a different level. Anyway, today is this part 2 of our Bottled and Bond series. So this is the part 2, the final part. I don't even remember the ones we did last time. Evan Williams, George Dickel. What was the third one? You remember that one?
I'll have to go back and reference that. I don't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
So it must not been that memorable.
I can't remember
Yeah.
either. We'll put it in there. You can get back to it on the podcast.
There's probably
before
some
this
name
one.
like
Was it
HR
one of the
Puff
other
and
old
stuff.
farces?
No, it wasn't Old Forester.
Okay.
That's what we're doing today. And I
Okay.
saved Old Forester for the second one.
Yeah.
Because Old Forester is actually, way to segue into the segment, they were the pioneers of the bottle and bond. So remember we talked about the fact that
McKenna.
McKenna. Oh, and that was the best one. Wow,
It
how did we
was
forget
good.
that one?
I looked at the cabinet and was like,
Oh, there you go. That was good. That was a good pro tip, pro move right there. But yeah, so Bottled and Bond was a idea from the Old Forester bourbon. Remember I told you they're the first people that bottled bourbon.
yes.
And so in 1870 they decided to push in Congress a law about bottled and bond. And I read the back of this bottle. The back of this bottle, the note they have is pretty gangster. Y'all mind if I read it to you?
Go ahead.
Please do. I can use a good bedtime story.
Yes. So the whiskey is distilled by us only, and we are responsible for its richness and fine quality. Its elegant flavor is solely due to the original fineness developed with care. There is nothing better in the market. Signed, George Garvin Brown, founder, Old Forester Bourbon. So it's a pretty declarative statement.
It's official
So
when you use your whole
So I
name.
feel
too.
like
it's actually
Whole name.
I feel like he just gave us a contract, a quality contract,
100%.
and I'm not against it.
And now we about to see if he holds up on that contract.
I hope he does.
We know who to hold
That was a great
responsible.
time.
We definitely know who to
That's
talk
right.
to.
Sound. So let's go ahead and pour this up.
So we cracked a new bottle. So you said,
Yeah.
I think you told me offset, there's no significance to cracking a new bottle. Is there any kind of ritual in bourbon cracking a new bottle?
Well, we don't have a ritual for bourbon. Now, if you went to Bowie State, you couldn't crack the bottle until you passed the bottle around to every person who was there. And they,
Smack that butt.
Tap it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember
yeah,
that.
yeah,
I
that-
didn't know if y'all did it up north. We do that in the South.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not a bourbon ritual. That's just, I think,
That's
African
just-
American
I
experience.
know
yeah.
Damo don't like that, but we definitely do that with a bottle of Hennessy.
Well, that's because everybody smacking anyway with Hennessy.
It's a pregame for what you about to do.
So this is Bottled and Bond,
Toledo.
Old Forester. This is Old Forester's 150-year anniversary. I really want to get my hands on a bottle of that Old Forester 150. I haven't found it anywhere yet. But we went over the criteria for bottled and bond last time. I won't get super into the details other than say one distiller, 1 season, and has to be in the bottle for at least 4 years.
Posted on the bottom.
Yeah, bottled and bond.
Well, real quick though, you said you want to get your hands on the bottle of the 150 proof.
No, it's not 150 proof.
150, okay.
It's 150 year anniversary.
100, okay, got you.
Yeah, so I'm assuming they did something special in there. I kind of want to taste that.
All right. Are all the selections around the same proof while we tasting this?
No, they vary. So that when Damo said, you'll find Old Forester in your granddaddy's cabinet. That is typically the 86 proof. That's sort of the entry level for Old Forester that everybody sort of knows that bottle from grandparents or wherever. But they have a bunch of different expressions. This is part of one of their newer expressions which is the Whiskey Row.
Yeah.
So this kind of is a bunch of bottles that kind of throw back to the golden age of bourbon.
Yeah.
So you have a bottled and bond bourbon, you have a pre-prohibition style bourbon, and you have like a really high proof one. So I mean, they have a bunch of different expressions right now out on the market.
Okay.
But so yeah, they're not all 100 proof.
So real quick question for you, both of you guys again, while we tasting this and getting our smells down.
Go ahead and taste it.
I couldn't smell too much of anything but aggression.
The proof.
Try
Back
again.
to the proof thing. I always get a lot of questions about the proof. So like you said, 86 proof as opposed to 100 proof. Is the proof really changing our the intake of alcohol as far as getting drunk faster, or is it changing actually the taste?
Yes.
Both.
Okay.
It's going to be, you're going to get more of an alcohol taste. Typically in higher proof, a lot of them higher proofs. That's one of the ways that bourbon gets really defined as good, is when it's a higher proof, older bourbon and it's still smooth. And that's when you know
that's when they did something.
Right. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it's going to do both. So
that's a good tidbit for the newbies.
Yeah. So 100 proof, that means it is 50% alcohol in that bottle, 50% water.
Okay.
50% punch you in the face. 50% hydration.
I like that. So
This is good.
So
This
I
is good.
get caramel on the nose, and I get caramel in the taste. I feel like this matches right up with the nose.
Oh, let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
Let me tell you something, buddy. Let me tell you something, brother. That joint,
We're all ears. Go
that
ahead.
joint just took me full Hulk Hogan. Hey, first off, I get some of the sweetness initially. Initially, I did not. It shut my eye.
That's why I asked you to go back.
Yeah, it shut my eye when I smelled it the first time.
Shut your eye.
My throat getting a little
Buddy,
fiery right here.
That's the Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, this is a big pour too.
That
Sorry
thing,
about that.
hey brother.
Whew.
But I do get the caramel on it. I definitely get the caramel in it. Mm-hmm. But I definitely also get that. This joke is 100 proof.
It's 100 proof.
Yeah, and it shows up at your house like, gimme.
Yeah,
It doesn't give me that celebration. It gives me like a reflection type drink where I'm sitting around reflecting on my life or what I did wrong.
what you did wrong.
What I did wrong. It doesn't give me that what I did right feeling.
This is one of those bourbons where I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna sit down on the couch and sip this.
Exactly.
And my next move is to bed. I'm not
Exactly.
I'm
I
not
said it's
headed
like
out there.
it's a reflection.
I'm
It's the
not
end
headed
of the
out
day
there.
type drink. It's not. It doesn't get the party started, but
So-
it's good. It's good though.
I had an old Forester last night. I had the I think it was the 12 year,
Okay.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And I wasn't impressed. My second, I went right from that to a Blanton.
Are you buying Old Forester 12 year in Blanton's at a bar? How much are you paying for those pours at a bar?
Deep pockets.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Like, oh yeah.
I would never buy those. Now the only thing I buy at a bar is that's high end like that. Is Pappy Van Winkle if they have it, or Rip Van Winkle, because those bottles will cost you $1,200.
Yeah, but you're gonna pay $100 for each.
I'm gonna pay $50 for a pour,
Yeah.
but it's the only time I'm gonna get to taste it because it's so hard to find a bottle.
Yeah.
I just want to taste it, and I tasted it honestly, and I was like, the maker's mark on that price list was $7.50, and I paid $55 for a glass of Pappy Van Winkle. I was like, this is not $42 better than my glass of maker.
Now, before we start this podcast, I definitely wouldn't order a very expensive glass of bourbon at a bar, just because, again, I want to have an appreciation for what I'm drinking and know what I'm tasting. You know, what am I paying for?
Yeah.
So now that if you educate me a little bit, so it's probably same with some of our newbies, I feel a little more confident in ordering a nice drink at the bar consisting of bourbon.
What's the price point on this thing though?
So for this one, I pay $36.99 for this one. And we're right now, what are we using today, Kelvin? The price?
Drizzly. Is that what it was pronounced?
Drizzly?
Drizzly, yes, an alcohol's delivery service. And on there, Old Forester 1897 bottled in bond bourbon is ranging from $29.99 to $99.99. Now, I think that depends on if you have to, where you got it. I think that depends on where you got to get it delivered to, though.
Well,
I don't
So
know.
you probably factor that in.
See what,
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll sell the Magnum, like the half gallon handle.
Well,
Magnum.
Yeah, it says from, so they have a range of
Sex
prices.
Life.
Again, I'm probably sure they kind of basing the prices off delivery, but starting from $54.99 based off of our address today.
Okay. So $54.99.
Yes.
All right, so I kind of got a deal on that at 30. What I say, 36.
Yeah, and it wasn't delivered. You wouldn't got it.
Nah, yeah, we got that. Got that. So yeah, so yeah, so I enjoyed that one. We'll do our rankings later. But one thing to point out, so you know, when we talk about mash bills, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just to bring it back real quick, because we talked a little bit about that in previous episodes. This one is 72% corn, 18% rye, 10% barley. And the reason I bring that up is not everybody tells you what their mash bill recipe is. So this is one of the ones that,
Because they're afraid that you're going to copy it, right?
yeah, they don't want you to know what they're doing. Like when we
It's like KFC.
I have no idea what's in this bottle,
Yeah.
right? Because this is Buffalo Trace, right? We'll get to that.
Okay, so
But
It was like a KFC type thing. They don't want to tell you what's in
and
it.
that's right. And that's a
Chick-fil-A.
relatively, I would say, medium or to high rye content.
I don't like rye.
18%.
I do not like rye whiskey.
But you like this?
I don't.
Oh, you didn't.
I do not.
Oh, Lord.
I do not. This.
Well, you ordered it at the bar, though. I mean, you
Okay,
see-
so so I had it right.
There's always something
Yeah.
fine.
I had it because I was like, you know what? I haven't tried. I was like, let me try a couple of these things that I have not. I don't think I've tried before on the rocks at a restaurant, right?
Yeah.
So I did that, and
This is gonna be all in the camera.
I did
In the
not.
shot.
Yeah, it was like something flying around.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it then either. I did not like it last night, and that's why I went to something. I went to something I knew.
You did not like it at a bar?
I did not like it in a car.
Did you like it in the car?
I
Oh, you
would
saw where I
not-
was going with
couldn't-
that.
yeah,
Hey,
predictable.
Would not, could not.
Well, I always like to look at the. One thing from they always gets me. I don't know if it does it for you guys, but I always look at the bartender's face when I order a drink, like to see what their impression is of me by what I'm drinking.
But you have to be careful with that. So I'm with you on that. But you got to know who your bartender is. Like
Yeah.
if you don't, if that bartender is
Yeah.
suspect, like there's a dude that runs a bourbon bar that I know of.
Yeah.
Where
What do you mean suspect? Like
I'll
not
never
know what he's
order-
doing?
Right.
Oh.
Because some people just buy stuff because it has a name
Yeah.
and then they want to mark it up and sell it to you. Or
Yeah.
a distributor has pushed something to them
Mm-hmm.
to say, hey, if you sell all this stuff, not kickbacks aren't supposed to be legal, but if you sell all this stuff, I'll give something else.
A
special
gift
will
card
happen.
or some. Is
Right.
normally how they roll it.
Yeah. So, so yeah.
So, Damo, real quick, walk us through your experience of ordering this Old Forester
You
at the
gotta know
bar
who
last
you
night.
ordering from.
So I mean,
Did you know the bartender? Was this a place you regularly go?
Yeah, I go there. I didn't know that. I've been to that bar and seen that bartender twice. I mean, he's normally a cool dude. Like he normally is knowledgeable. So he kind of just tells you what he sells a lot of. And he was like, "Yeah, I sell a lot of Old Forester." And I was like, "Yeah, I can see how because I've seen the demographic. Right?
Yeah.
And it's older people.
Yeah.
That go into this bar, but I didn't like it. I had to go for something I knew. I was like, Blanton's.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So, next on the list, we're gonna move into everybody's, I think, aunt's favorite. Not everybody's,
Yeah.
but that was one of my aunts. Old Granddad. Now, there's a lot of significance in this bottle for bourbon heads, and we'll talk about that a little bit.
I feel like that bottle should be in a paper bag.
A paper bag? I'm sure quite a few people have drank this out of paper
It's a
bag.
nice. It looks like a nice bottle.
But this is the Bottom Bond Old Granddad, and this is from the Jim Beam family of products. Oh yeah,
Hey,
this is a fresh bottle.
Poppin'.
Fresh bottle. Yeah.
popping tops.
Hey, do a little light pour on that one, player. I don't want to.
Says you can get it for $3.50 on Drizzly. I'm
Yeah.
just waiting.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So
1946 so far.
yeah. So I paid $21 for this, so that's about right. Bottom Bond Old Granddad. Now, Old Granddad on their Wikipedia page says that they are one of the top 10 selling bourbon straight whiskeys in the United States. However, according to Drizzly, they are not. So somebody has to deconflict that on Wikipedia.
Okay.
Y'all, anyone care to know what the top 10 are?
The top 10?
The top
Real
10?
quick, give us the top 3.
Top 3.
Yes.
Bullet,
I concur.
Maker's Mark,
Yep.
Woodford
Woodford.
Reserve.
I'd say it has to be like a Woodford or something
Yeah.
like that. Yep.
Again, from you guys educating me, I was watching. I don't know if you guys have seen the show Insecure. Watching Insecure with Issa Rae, and she said they gave a plug for Bullet, and I think I told you about this. Bro. So they were at the bar scene with her ex-boyfriend, and she's trying to impress him to show him that she still knows him, that she's familiar with him. So she's ordering what he's gonna eat, what he's gonna like, and she said, "Oh, he'll have a whiskey neat of Bullet." I'm like, look at this.
Yeah. So Bullet was actually what we were supposed to do today. So we were planning on doing the Bullet series today, but we ended up doing part 2 of our Bottled and Bomb. But we still are going to do
Look out for that.
the Bullet tasting. Yeah. We tasted lime because they recently came. I don't know how recently, but they recently came out with 2 more expressions. So that'll be interesting. We'll get the 4 that they have available and do that.
It
tasting.
seems to have like a newer slant on bourbon. Or is that? I guess that's purposely, on purpose.
I think Bullet is just starting to get some type of notoriety because of the bottle. Everyone is familiar with the Bullet bottle, that nubby bottle with the orange or green slashed thing on it. And I just think that Bullet is a good bang for the buck, right?
It's a bargain bourbon.
Yeah, it's a good bang for the buck.
Because the next 2 in that list after Woodford are Jack Daniels, which I wouldn't consider bourbon, but they do, and Jim Beam.
There you go.
So those at the top of that list, you only have 1 bottle that typically retails for more than $25.
Is Knob Creek on that list
That's
at
the
all?
Woodford. Knob Creek is number 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, those top 3 are making money though. I mean,
What?
that's mass. They're everywhere.
Number 6 is significant because number 6 is Basil Hayden.
Delicious.
Anybody heard of Basil Hayden?
I have never heard of it.
So, do you know who Old Granddad is?
The motherfucker on the bottom.
Yeah, no. Old Granddad is Meredith Basil Hayden.
Get the
Yeah. So Raymond B. Hayden put that brand of whiskey together to honor his grandfather, Meredith
Good
Basil
for him.
Hayden.
Hey,
Senior.
now you have finally said something on this podcast that I actually gave a about. There's so many things that you said on here that I honestly could give 2 less.
Well, I'm still waiting on yours. I'm still waiting on yours for me. So
I would like to
I'm
say
glad that we got there.
Bourbon Catfishing, I believe that is a Damo original.
So I assume both of you guys have been drinking this Old Granddad for a while.
I've never had
I've never had it before.
It's my first time having it.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought it was a
never
story.
had
I
this
thought it was a
shit
story
before.
behind it.
Yeah,
You talking about
no.
this is your aunt's favorite bourbon?
I just remember seeing it sitting under the sink.
Oh, so I thought this was one. You know, we know back when the early '90s when the aunts used to wear those long dresses and sit around. So I thought
Early
this might be the one.
90s.
Early
80s for
Earlier,
us.
okay. Early '90s for me. They used to sit on the couch with a rocking chair. I thought
Yeah.
this would be like the bottle she hiding up under that dress, up under the chair, where you don't see what she's drinking when she's watching the stories.
Now, that could be something. I just remember it being in my aunt's cabinet under the sink.
Yeah.
this thing
Now,
smells better than the first one, I think. I get more
Like a brown
more flavor
sugar.
notes.
I get a brown sugar
Yeah.
smell.
And I
good.
tasted it. I tasted like nuttiness. I tasted sweetness. I taste some floral in there. I did not expect that to come from
Old Granddad.
Nope.
This is good. I'm getting a bottle of this.
I expected Old Granddad to taste like gray flannel cologne and
Auntie know what she
and
was
Jupe.
doing. Auntie know what she was doing when she drinking this. This is not bad.
This is not bad. Now, I didn't get as much on the nose.
Oh, that's because it's burnt out.
Yeah, I didn't get much on the nose, but like you said, the drink is surprisingly
Oh
smooth.
yeah, this is a good move right here.
Very smooth.
They might have made me especially with that knowledge base you gave me on the Basil Hayden. That's gonna get me to get it off the break. But this taste, oh yeah, that confirms it. I'm a new Old Granddad
You
fan.
Old Granddad fan?
Yep. I'm rocking it.
Now, can we find this in every bar? Like,
You can find this.
This is typically going to be on the well or on the rail
Yep.
at a bar. Not the bottled and bond,
yeah.
but just regular Old Granddad.
So I guess
Okay.
I shouldn't say I'm an Old Granddad fan. I'm an Old Granddad bottle and bond fan.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I don't know what Old Granddad tastes like for real.
Yeah, so like you said, old Granddad, the regular Old Granddad usually is in that big plastic bottle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so
one you
this
can drop.
is a special edition.
Oh, 1,000%.
Oh, it's just special because it's bottled and bond.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's 100 proof.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so they're giving you the full alcohol expression. Now look at that part. Look at that picture of Old Granddad. Y'all had to talk about Clive Mays.
Yeah.
Look at old Meredith.
Well, while we're
Basil
checking it
Hayden.
out, give us a real quick rehash of what bottled and bond means in case this is the first episode. They didn't see the second one yet.
Yeah, so we kicked that. We did that in the last one.
Yep.
Oh, but because we're doing the breakup.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah. So bottled and bond, at least 4 years old, made by the same distiller
Yep.
in the same season, and aged in a federally bonded warehouse. So it was put into practice as a quality control, and Old Forester, being one of those pioneers of quality control by being the first to bottle their whiskey, was one of the pioneers of that as well. The Bottled and Bonded Act of 1897 set the requirements for what it meant to be bottled and bond.
So Old Forester, they're kind of like the umpires of the Bourbon League. They want to make sure everyone's adhering to the rules and the quality and
Where they're one of
the tradition of the game.
people argue it, but I mean on paper they are the oldest running distillery in the country. Through Prohibition and all that, they stayed open. They were doing medicinal stuff during Prohibition, but the oldest ongoing distillery in the country. So I mean they are stalwarts and definitely stewards of the bourbon industry.
They kind of like everybody else. You out here making all this money, but I want you to make sure you're doing
the
what you're
picture of the dude on that bottle.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You see that motherfucker in your nightmare. That's a creepy old bastard on that bottle.
He looked like he'd be your grandmama's
He looked like
boyfriend.
if Orville Redenbacher had slaves.
Do you watch Lovecraft Country?
I've seen a couple episodes.
I've heard about that.
So Lovecraft Country I like it. It's weird, but it's great, and it's a whole story around Lovecraft Country. But at the end, they bring back a dude from the dead who used to do this magic, and he's surprised that black people are doing magic. So he looks like that dude. He's like, hey, these N-words are doing magic out here. But he's like from the 1870s.
That's him right there.
Yeah.
He looks like a guy that says yes a lot. Yes.
It looks like it could be mixed a little bit to me, though.
Who?
It looks like he could be like black and white.
No.
Yeah, that slick back hair, though.
Yeah,
that's
that's
what always gets me because
Everybody
It's
back
a
then
gold
had that,
foil
though.
picture.
Yeah.
I think
it could be mixed.
based on that picture.
Yes,
fall for
I've
it,
got
Don't
people
fall
in my
for the
family
okey-doke.
tree that look like this guy.
Do they have gold foil skin? Because he has
Yes.
gold foil skin.
Yes,
This
they do.
dude,
Yes, they do. They're Indian. They have that Cherokee bow.
Cherokee.
that does not look like an old granddad I would like to hang around with.
He look like my grandmother's boyfriend. That's what he look like.
Her current boyfriend?
No, well, my grandmother's dead.
Okay.
God rest her soul, but she had a boyfriend that had his hair slicked back and had that kind of same look on his face.
Did he walk through her house on New Year's Day?
Grady Simpson.
Oh, great.
May God rest his soul also.
Grady Simpson.
Let me tell you something. Every episode I've ever seen of like Ghost Hunters or something like that has an old bastard like this where they're like, so we drew a picture of what everyone said they saw in the old house. And it's this guy. It is him.
It's him?
It's me.
The house, he had the house on
Get out of the house, yeah.
The house at the end of the street with the
Boogity, yeah. Get off my lawn, yeah.
He looks like the villain that they always unmask at the end
Yes.
in the Scooby Doo.
Yeah, I would have got away with it.
Yeah,
If it
at the end of
wasn't for-
Scooby-Doo.
If it wasn't for these
Old
pesky
granddad
kids
was
and that
the guy that did it.
yeah.
Yeah, old granddad was the guy that did it.
Ooh, good stuff.
You
Old
want to rinse
granddad
your
is-
glass
yeah.
out, or you good? Are we good?
I'll
Y'all-
take some.
Y'all
Yep.
want some chocolate, water?
Well, while we are resetting here, Damo, give us your one of your favorite shows going right now.
Favorite show? Like on TV?
Yep, on TV. It could be Netflix and whatever. You just tell me what you into.
Okay, so-
give us some insight to people.
There's a couple shows that The Boys.
Yes,
It's kind
yes, your favorite.
yeah, well, that's kind of what I'm
Do
done
what
with
you-
it. But
yeah,
it's
whatever
kinda-
you like. Top
yeah,
two,
I mean,
top three, number one,
yeah.
whatever.
No,
Boys? I like The Boys.
Boys is good. Have you seen Uploaded
I'm not.
on Amazon? Pretty dope.
Uploaded, so the boys uploaded, and what else is kicking?
That's about it.
That's about it. Okay, and both of these shows are
Amazon Prime.
What are they centered on though? Like
One-
the black experience, or they like mixed shows?
No, just good old TV.
Oh.
The
Okay.
boys are
Fake superhero.
superheroes.
Oh, I did hear about
Yeah.
that. That's supposed to be pretty good, right?
Like
That's good.
It's better than any DC
Yeah.
comics show that they have out.
I'm gonna have to check that out. Have y'all seen The Watchmen?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Watchmen was classic.
Well, yeah, Watchmen.
They said there was a lot of controversy. They might not bring that back, but
Well,
That's because they didn't. It speaks too truthful.
oh wow,
That's
yeah, I
one
saw
thing.
The Klan and stuff.
Yeah.
they were tackling.
It's-
yeah,
speaks too truthful
it starts with the riots in or the
Tulsa Massacre.
the Tulsa massacre.
Yeah.
But everybody has that a little bit twisted in that that was never supposed to be more than 1 year. The director signed on and said, "I'm only going to do it."
I saw that when he read and said he was gonna let somebody else take it over because he want to see their vision of
right. But then
what
HBO said, "We don't want to do it without you, so we're just not going to do it again."
Oh, damn.
I hope that's not what happens to Lovecraft Country.
Come on, HBO.
Because then I'm gonna have a beef with HBO because all of
on,
these
HBO.
Afrocentric programs get
Yeah.
1 year.
And
One
right.
and done.
Right.
They say it's because of
Right.
all this behind the scenes stuff.
I need Lovecraft Country to
They
come
be
back.
speaking true though. That,
Well,
they-
HBO
they-
Max is the move, though. I'll give you that. It's got all the movies I want to see on there, and a lot of the shows, like you just said. So
Yeah.
whatever.
They're gonna have to pay me for me to say anything good about any of it.
I'm good with that. HBO, yeah. HBO is some of my favorite programs. John Oliver, Lovecraft Country.
Did they
I don't watch that many
Which
shows.
one stopped boxing? Showtime or HBO? Which one stopped doing the boxing?
I have no idea.
I know
think it was-
Showtime used to hold
One
heavy
of
on
them.
boxing.
One of them did the last episode. So
Showtime is still boxing, right?
But in there it is.
because it's a
well,
fight.
one of them got rid of boxing, and I know
Probably HBO.
Mayweather was upset about it because they were his.
Then it probably had to be HBO.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So next up in our tasting is Colonel E.H. Taylor. This we've already established comes from one of our already established favorite distilleries, which is Buffalo Trace. This is in their mash bill 1, and Damo, you may enjoy this because this is going to be a little light on the rye side, low rye on this one, mash bill 1. So let's go ahead and pour this. As you can see, it is not a lot of this left.
Hey, so I'm assuming
This is
it is
from my
good.
personal
Yeah, I'm
collection.
about to say, I'm assuming it's good.
And
Private stock.
And, oh man, I haven't been able since I got this bottle 3 years ago. I have not been able to secure another bottle. of this.
Colonel H.
So
E.H.
I'm
Cornpone.
sharing with y'all in respect that I don't even know when I'll be able to find another one.
Well, I would say, I remember Damo had the thing about the Blantons. You never offered any of this.
Oh, yeah. This-
I've never been offered any of this. I lived by you for over a year.
He knew.
This is all I've had for
We've
the
had
last.
several
I've been
times when we
saving
drunk
this.
together.
I'm gonna need y'all to stop being in y'all feelings so much, or you can turn in your Y chromosomes. I don't want to be toxic and I don't want to be toxic masculinity out here. But I'm gonna need y'all to lock it up.
All women are in their feelings.
I'm gonna need y'all to lock it up. No, that's not exactly what. That could be the interpretation. So I apologize to all the women in there out there. But y'all are real. Y'all being real tender out here with this.
Hashtag
So,
me too.
Colonel E.H. Taylor, small batch.
HR puffing stuff. I feel like that's what is happening.
Trying to look this up here. They won't even.
Oh,
can't have it on the site.
it's blocked out probably.
Yeah, I see.
Yep. Bottled and bond. I have not been able to find another one of these.
Is there even
or E.H. Taylor?
Is there even enough to go around?
Oh, there will be. There's enough for you to get a taste. You want to just drink it out of the
Let me
bottle?
drink mine straight out the bottle. Yeah, let me drink mine.
Well, Drizzly says we cannot find that
Yeah,
with a sad face.
it is rare and it is empty. Empty. Fallen soldier.
We lost
Buddy, let me tell you. Well, no, we
lost
got
the
to. I want to
soldiers,
critique the bottle and everything.
I'm just saying that's what you do with
big
a
bottle.
that's what you do with a fallen king.
Mm.
Chess. Let's taste it.
Could you get any nerdier?
You don't play chess?
Yes, but I wouldn't use it as a reference to anything.
Oh man.
You disgust my soul sometimes with the
This
things
flight
you
has
say.
brought tears to my eyes today.
How you smelling it?
I am smelling.
It smells good to me.
It's
It
all right.
does.
I'm just excited. I want
It
to
smells
taste
like if you made a Jolly Ranch out of whiskey.
I don't even know.
Get like a little
Flip that
cinnamon,
means.
little cinnamon
Love
in
that.
it. Y'all getting the cinnamon
I love
smell?
this.
Am I right or wrong with the cinnamon smell? You know, my nose is off.
I get a little spice. I don't know if it's cinnamon.
Oh, she's
but-
spicy as hell. That taste it. You going the same thing you smell?
Which taste?
That bitch in the cup. That bitch in the cup.
Now that's a plug. We gotta have that.
That should have been the name of the podcast. That bitch in the cup. That should have been the name of the podcast.
Oh Lord, you taste it yet?
I did.
What you, that spice right there, huh?
It's at the top of my mouth for some reason.
Yeah. That bitch in the
It
cup.
won't go down my throat. It's at the top of my
No,
mouth.
no, sir.
It's sitting on the
God.
top there. But it's good. It's. I think it has that kick that you would think from somebody with the name Colonel.
Oh, let me tell you something. Oh, Colonel
Give us some
Taylor.
history on Colonel
This
E.H.
is a
Taylor.
bourbon drinker's drink.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
that
gotta
is
know what you're doing.
spicy. That's
I feel like you need
fire.
I feel like you need a license to drink this.
Woo, so what I'll give you about Colonel E.H. Taylor is that he was one of the chief architects and builders of all the warehouses at the Buffalo Trace Distillery.
I did read that about him on the website.
Yeah. Well, thanks for doing my job, Kevin.
I mean, I read about it, but you know, it's different when you read about something as opposed to knowing it.
Yeah.
You know it.
So there's a lot of background on Colonel Taylor. We don't need to get into all of it, but
Yeah.
yeah, one of, in that Blanton's and Buffalo Trace, Family Tree, and they do a lot. I remember when we talked about the mash bills and the ingredients.
Yes.
And I said, there were typically 4: corn, rye, wheat, and barley. Colonel E.H. Taylor does experiment a little bit too. So they have a amaranth, I don't know if I'm saying that right, grain version, which is highly sought after. I don't know how it tastes, but it's one of those where they went a little experimental. And Buffalo Trace is kind of famous for doing experiments. And sometimes they'll even put out small 350 milliliter bottles of tasting. Similar to how Jefferson Reserve just did with a tasting. That's another podcast. But good stuff. And one of my favorites.
Okay.
Actually, my buddy.
I have 3 questions about the Colonel.
My buddy.
Unless Damo got something real quick.
Shout out Nate Jones. He gave me this for my 40th birthday.
Go ahead and take a gander at that dude, buddy.
3 questions for Colonel. Was Colonel E.H. Taylor a real colonel?
Yes.
What time period are we talking about?
So we're talking about, I believe, early 1900s because remember he was the one that used to
Haunt everyone's house.
he was the
Still
guy
does.
that would evaluate what the great spots in the warehouse were. So Colonel E. Taylor,
Colonel in the United
Blanton.
States Army or Navy or what?
I'm gonna say he's part of the Confederacy.
Can't be Navy because Navy.
He would be a captain. Yeah,
but I don't know.
I say.
There was no Air Force then, so I guess it would have to be Army.
This spot in the warehouse is not
1946.
good for my bourbon.
1946 Air Force.
Was it Air Force? Yeah, so
Air
it was
birthday.
before that.
Yeah.
So it had to be Army.
I say this spot here is too hot for my bourbon storages.
Yeah, that
I need a colder spot here.
that guy murdered a lot of people.
Oh, that dude has
His picture?
Oh.
Yeah, he murdered a lot.
He looks like a tough man.
Yeah.
a tough man.
Tough
Yeah.
man.
Man, let me tell you something.
Because he knew somebody was taking this picture or drawing this.
that
and
old
was
bastard-
The,
that old
was the
bastard
face
used to-
he decided to make.
He used to kill people by hand. He used to just take his hat off like, I'll
Yeah.
choke the godliness out of you.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and real quick to correct myself, I misspoke. Former error myself. September 18, 1947, United States Air Force birthday.
Man, you an officer too.
I
Well,
know.
what's the penalty for getting that wrong?
Well, the penalty is
Push-ups
stop
or-
drinking bourbon on a podcast.
Push-ups or
Hey,
something.
I would like to say,
But you
that
see though, I went and checked that real quick.
the bottle is gone.
Yeah.
Right. We don't have any ritual for it, but I don't like this.
You don't like it? You ain't messing with it? Oh! Man down. We got a man down. Man
That's
down.
what we're gonna do for those.
Man down.
He gets no burial. We just push that bastard off a cliff.
That's
Even
just-
though we can't find it, how much is that bottle, Bo? How much is that bottle going for?
I believe those bottles are 100 and up. If I had to guess that, I don't remember because it was a couple years ago. But if I had
Yeah.
to guess, we're looking at the 120-ish range.
It's $1 per proof.
Woo! I mean, well, a site that we've done before, Caskers. Remember Caskers? It's going for $343.
Whoa.
And Damo just kicked. Well, it was empty.
Hey, it was
but-
empty.
Yeah.
What good
Yeah.
is it now?
But yeah, so I mean,
All it is bragging rights at
bourbon
this point.
drinkers drink right
There you go, same bottle.
It definitely says.
$343.
It definitely said on the back. It is a true bourbon
Yeah.
sippers beverage.
Yeah, because you get it's not overwhelming, but you get a lot of heat and a lot of spice.
It was
and even
spicy
on
as hell.
Caskers, look at the ranking. It's low.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't.
Well, that's only one review, so
didn't
it's
like
not a huge sample size there. But
I can tell you.
well, then why
Review number 2, no good.
then what is the mystique behind it? Then why does it cost so much for one thing? Number one. Secondly, why is it carrying his name all these years later?
Maybe it's rare.
If it's not that,
People,
the
like I
movie-
said, bourbon drinkers love it. I mean, this is a drink that is more highly rated than Pappy Van Winkle, which is the top of their line. Pappy Van Winkle was going for
It's probably good though.
for a couple $100s or more, into the thousands of dollars, and this outpointed it. You know,
But it's Pappy good? I've never had Pappy. Is Pappy good?
it's a bourbon drinker's drink. I mean, it like I said, it was good, but it was not $42 better than Maker's Mark.
Well, I think this goes back. I'll let Damo, say it, but I remember you said in the cocktail episode, is this a case of where you keep paying for like the McDonald's?
Right.
So yeah, tell us about that. So you think this is the case of that also, where you paying for something but that you think is good, but it's really just bad?
Also, just before you answer, Pappy Van Winkle is aged for. I mean, one of the lines is aged for 23 years.
Okay,
So it's been taken care of for 23
Right.
years. A whole child was born and had their sweet
And grew
16, 18, and now they can drink before that barrel came off the warehouse.
And, see, and that's respectable.
Yeah.
I don't know what the Colonel Taylor from A Different World. I don't know what his bottle had to do with any of it, but
we could have looked. Was it on the bottle? Because now the bottle is on the floor, so I couldn't tell you.
I read the back
how
of it.
old it was.
It said something about a lot of warehouses and whatever, but I didn't see anything.
Who was the chef on Different World?
Mr. Gaines.
Mr. Gaines.
Yeah.
You a Colonel guy or Mr. Gaines guy?
What's that?
If you had to pick a favorite on Different World, would it be Mr. Gaines or Colonel Taylor?
Whitley.
Yeah.
Fair. That's fair.
Well, I had a question
That's
about
fair.
Different World too.
That's fair.
Did y'all really dress like that in the early '90s? Were
Yes.
y'all kicking that?
Yes.
No, they did. They were older than I was.
Yeah.
No.
I was in college in the
Dwayne
late
Wade
90s.
really brought Jordans onto the map.
Okay,
with
so
that,
let me tell
the way
you.
he wore them. Some of
I
them was a
watched
classic.
every episode recently.
I'm watching it now.
And you will see he wears a lot of fours.
Mm-hmm.
And people, it's hard to get black and red fours.
Because of that?
Just because it's just hard to get them. But when they first came out,
Yeah.
they was just rocking them.
They
Now
was.
you got to remember.
rocking-
Now you got to remember that I think that needs to be researched.
Yeah.
Because when that came out, you're talking about everybody pretty much only had 10 channels of television.
Yeah.
And they were the prime spot
NBC,
right after the Cosby Show,
NBC,
NBC
Saturday
at
night.
8:30. Cosby
Yeah.
Show at 8. Different
Saturday
World
night, I
at
remember that. I used
8:30.
to eat my macaroni and cheese and watch it.
Prime. So there's something to be said about
Yeah.
how many people saw Jordans on television.
It's a
during
good
that
show.
time.
I know. I mean, that's the first time I've
It's
seen
a good
it.
show. The only
Yeah.
thing that I didn't like about it when you watch it now is that they used to tuck their jerseys in.
When they played. What?
Just tuck their
In the
tuck their
jeans,
jerseys. Yeah.
in the jeans
Yes.
also.
Yeah,
Oh,
they,
when they were in I got you.
yeah, they used
I
to tuck
got
their
you.
basketball jerseys into
Yeah.
their pants,
I got you.
which is real weird.
They tackled a lot of subjects on that show too.
They definitely did.
100%.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard people. Several people told me that show alone influenced them to go to college.
And I think that's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
The whole point of that show was to get the numbers up of African Americans into college. To let them
HBCU
know-
specifically.
To let them know.
100%. Because Bill Cosby was wearing HBCU sweatshirts the whole time he was on the Cosby
Yeah.
Show.
Yep.
I mean, I know he has his past. He has his demons or whatever he's doing, but he did do a lot for HBCUs.
I'm trying to tell
100%.
you. The
He
whole
did.
point of that was to show the life of a college, HBCU, for people who would
Yeah.
never have got to see it any other time.
I
And
think you was 100% right, Dame.
I
I think
use-
that opened
I st-
everybody's eyes to the
It was a great show.
HBCU
I
experience.
still use that line. If y'all remember, Dwayne and Ron got into a fight at a college that they were playing football at.
Yeah.
And the sheriff.
Oh,
he was like, he
yeah.
told the sheriff, you could be a card carrying member of the Klan, and the
Yep.
sheriff was like, oh, I could have marched with Dr. King.
I just
You
saw
don't know that, yeah. You don't know.
100%.
And so I always use that when
You're right.
when my daughter is saying somebody might be racist. I'm
Yeah.
like, or they could have marched.
But
with
that was my
Dr.
thing
King.
with Clyde. With the Clyde,
You gotta
yeah.
get more information. Just don't settle on the surface.
Let me tell you
Yeah.
something about Clyde.
Well, Clyde Mays.
Get on him, Damo. Get on Clyde.
Clyde Mays. And I'm gonna say old granddad.
He could have marched with. He could have marched with
Old
Dr. King and
granddad.
Selma. He
and
could
that
have
strong
marched with
old
Dr. King and
bastard
Selma.
on Colonel E.H.
He's about to push himself up off the
he about to
floor
get
back
up
onto the
Let me tell
counter.
you something.
You better stop talking about his name. He gonna visit you tonight.
That joke gonna come up, take his head off, and choke me to death in my sleep.
They
Yes.
got the book. They're doing magic. Y'all gotta watch Lovecraft Country.
That old dude.
I gotta watch
Lovecraft
that. Yeah.
Country is good. If you have any inkling, it's first of all, it's black centric. There's a lot. Google Lovecraft Country, get the backstory because it is a story. Because the dude Lovecraft was a crazy racist. He wrote all this sci-fi stuff, and they re-envisioned it. But you just gotta see if you just like sci-fi and horror movies
I
a
do.
little bit,
I do.
you'll
But
want
everything-
to keep watching.
But everything about it, I do know about Lovecraft has something to do with like old black exploitation stuff. Like I think they had two little scary pickaninnies in one of them,
Right.
And that's literally what they were.
Yes.
And so that I like the fact that you gotta like know some African American history.
Oh, they explore
to
a
know-
lot.
yeah, yeah.
They explore Tulsa. They explore Emmett Till.
Yep.
They explore a lot on those 10 episodes. Of
We need a
Lovecraft
movie
Country.
about the Tulsa riots and the.
Well, you got
and
the first
aftermath of that.
episode of Watchmen. If you look at the first episode of Watchmen on HBO,
Message.
you get everything you need. Not everything, but there's a lot
It needs
there.
its
Just
due,
the
though. I think
brutality
it needs a 2-hour movie.
and the I
What
mean,
was that
you
movie?
talking about gentrification?
Yeah.
I mean, whoo.
Well, I think it's a lesson in what happens when they say when we get our own.
yeah. I mean,
So they were totally independent from what I read about it. So
Yeah, it really does prompt you though to go back and figure out, oh, what was this?
Exactly.
I mean, we know it going to HBCUs, you learn about that stuff
Yeah.
a lot, but But it does prompt you to revisit it and say, hey, I want to know more about what happened here for sure.
So, Colonel Taylor, we want to get into our rankings now. We want to. Well, one more thing for getting a rank. What was that old movie with Vin Raines? Rosewood.
Oh, that's my joint
Another
too.
good movie.
Big Baby Can Shoot. That's my that was my joint too.
Isn't that the one with Scrappy? How would you be Scrappy? Is that
That was based on historical. I mean, I don't know if it's 100% correct, but it was based on historical facts.
Yes, based on actual events for sure.
How would you be Scrappy? I think that's the same movie.
All through training before I was going to Iraq, in my back of my head, I kept saying to myself, "Big Baby can shoot."
Let me tell you, I seen Elise Neal.
I'm supposed to be serious out here.
You saw? Wait. Did you see Elise Neal?
I seen Elise Neal. I seen her in Adams Morgan.
Nah.
I seen her in Adams Morgan walking down the street.
Oh wow!
Literally in Adams Morgan with a wagon wheel slice with some dude. And they were walking, and I saw her, and I was like, oh. And I was like, how would you be, Scrappy? And she started laughing. That is a fact.
Oh, wow.
All right, so we ranking?
Yeah, I think we're ready.
All right, so go ahead, Kelvin. Anything you taking to the cookout here?
I'm keep taking old granddad.
You taking old granddad?
Yeah, and I think that's going to get me some points with auntie. You're gonna like that old granddad.
She like, bring that over here, baby. Did anybody else seen this yet? Bring that over here.
You
bring
get
that
an
over
extra
here.
helping of mac and cheese.
Yeah,
Take home.
go on, give me that. You don't know nothing about that.
Again, if I'm listening to some, again, I know he has his demons also. If I'm listening to some old R. Kelly music, reflecting on my life, I'm gonna drink some.
If you listen to R. Kelly reflecting on your life,
yeah.
you've done a lot of bad.
I mean, R. Kelly he has music for every occasion. He has music for every occasion. But again, this is not an endorsement for R. Kelly. I understand what he did was wrong. I'm just talking about specifically about the music. Yep. So again, I think Old Forester is a reflection type bourbon. I can sit around, reflect on my life, end of the day type thing, drink before I go to bed, like you said. Old Colonel Taylor, I would probably buy. I'm gonna just say this: if I had the money, if it was a splurge day, I would buy a bottle just because. Not the fact that I like it, but I would buy the bottle just because I want to have it in my collection, just to
have it.
Yeah, just to have it. So I mean, wouldn't be my favorite, but those are my rankings. I would definitely take Old Granddad instead of Hennessy, depending on the age of the cookout I'm going to. If it's one of my older relatives, just to get that reflection, and then Old Forester reflection, and Colonel Taylor put it in my private stash.
What about you, then? Clearly, you didn't like Colonel East Taylor.
I did not.
All right.
I'm not a fan of Old Forester either. So the only one that I'm really messing with is Old Granddad at this point. And what I'm doing is I would take that, keep that in the crib also. I'm taking it to the cookout. And if somebody, auntie, want to throw me a pair after that, so be it.
A pair of
her bloomers.
Alrighty.
One of them bras with the big cup and that and thick underwire. Hell yeah.
Them joints you can hide.
That definitely
you can
probably
put your
a
week's pay in that joint.
That would
safe.
be a possibility if you bring that old grandfather.
You could use
granddad.
that,
I'm telling you.
You can use that big bra to.
You would be in the move.
You could use it as a backpack. You could smuggle drugs across the country, across the border, and that thing, and nobody would know the difference.
So you're like, come here, nephew.
Yeah.
Come here, nephew.
Hold on, let me kiss your neck.
Yeah.
What they used to say, let me kiss your neck.
You leave out that cookout smelling like white diamonds. Smelling like white diamonds and macaroni and cheese leavings.
Who boy was that? Was that Geraldine's
son? He spoke to my heart.
I am going to. I actually like all of those. Colonel East Taylor is one of my favorites. I am pleasantly surprised by this old granddad. I might go back where I got this and get at least another bottle just to keep in the crib.
You're not giving up your sources of where you get this stuff from no more, right?
Not to you and not on camera because it's so hard to get where I like. I'm not telling nobody else where I go to get stuff because every time I go, I see somebody I know like, wait, come on, man, put it back. Like I need that bottle.
Put it back.
Yeah, put it back. But Old Forester. Old Forester was good, but I mean, Old Granddad was half the price and just as good. Again, surprising. If I had to pick one that I would drink on a regular, I'd probably go with the Old Granddad because that one is super expensive. Yeah. Good, but super expensive. Mm-hmm. This one for the price wasn't that much better that I'd choose it over Old Granddad.
I would buy the Colonel Taylor, like Kelvin said, just to have it. But I would, seeing what the price is, I would put it in my cabinet just to see if the as an investment bottle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To see if the stock goes up on that
absolutely.
thing. And then
absolutely.
I would resell it if I could.
I agree, Damo.
That's about it. That would be an investment bottle. All the rest of it.
And I would do it just to impress people like Bo and Damo when they come to my house.
You're not impressing me.
Kevin has a Colonel Taylor bottle of liquor in his cabinet.
You don't need to impress me. We already family. You don't need to impress me. But other people that like bourbon, they give you that bartender nod. You looking for like, he knows something about something.
And us newbies, we do want our respect. At the end of the day, we want our respect. So, real quick to wrap this up, our Bottled and Bond episode. Would you two guys give us our first? I would like for you to give us a quick review of what Bottled and Bond means, as opposed to the ones that we tried. Yeah, well, I mean the ones that we've tried.
Yeah, okay.
So your impressions of that.
Said another one.
Well, I mean, we gotta have this. Yeah, we gotta have it for our newbies. Yeah, they probably been drinking along with us, so they probably don't forgot.
Okay.
Rewind the episode.
Yeah. So. All right, so you want me to
I want you to wrap up our Bottled and Bond 2 episodes that we put together.
Okay, so
and Damo also
With a song and dance.
yeah, so let Damo go first, and then I'll wrap it up with some.
What am I? I'm not the bourbon brain. I'm just a guy.
Right,
but everybody loves your opinion.
right,
though.
but yeah, you're probably gonna say something that I need to cover to fix. So I was gonna go second.
Only thing I can say in a recap.
We've done 2 episodes of Bottled and Bond, so we definitely.
All right, let me go
Out of
ahead.
everything that we've tried,
Yes.
Bottled and Bond so far,
McKenna, Evan Williams,
McKenna
Dickel.
was good. I like the Dickel. That shit was good, and it's old granddad.
Okay.
And I think the other one that we did, and
Evan Williams.
and Evan Williams was not bad either. But the last two, Colonel E.H. Cornpone and Old Grimace over here, I don't know what they call it. I don't. No.
Okay,
not even.
Evan Williams,
I
number
have
8.
one question for Damo. Would you, so we specialize on Bottled and Bond here, right? So are you going to be? I mean, you drink a lot of bourbon, but is Bottled and Bond going to be an avenue that you're going to try to explore a little bit more?
With Old Granddad.
With Old Granddad,
yes. Because I don't know what the regular Old Granddad tastes like.
Yeah.
That literally could taste like somebody's foot.
Yeah.
But I know that this Bottled and Bond surprised the hell out of me. I know I can say that.
Okay, so that means a lot coming from someone that drinks a lot of bourbon.
And that
to say
McKenna,
that they're gonna go down
McKenna.
there.
I'm definitely buying. I'm buying that this weekend.
So yeah,
I'm gonna go get me some McKenna this weekend.
so
the McKenna Bottled and Bond.
good luck finding that joint.
Hey, but if I do,
buy two.
I'm being just like you.
I bought two.
Mine.
When I bought it, I bought 2. One for my collection and one for the podcast to share with my brothers. You know what I'm talking about? So I bought 2, huh?
And so to wrap us up, Bourbon
McKenna's?
Brain, Bo.
No, one is gone.
Your final
I saved one for the
reflection.
podcast and I saved one for the collection.
Fact check it just happened.
Yeah, you right.
In the Fort Knox you got behind us right here.
Yeah. So
Wrapping up Bottled and Bond.
wrapping up Bottled and Bond. So just one of the things to keep in mind about Bottled and Bond is, when a distiller puts out a product, it's not necessarily going to be, they're going to blend some things to get a good product. We talked about Knob Creek at one point taking the age statements off because at that time they were blending things that were younger and older to get a profile of what they used to call their 9-year. But they've gone back to putting numbers on. But the point of that is they were blending them from all different years, trying to get a really good flavor profile.
Yep.
Bottled and Bond is going to give you, if you want to know really what a distiller is capable of and what it can do, the Bottled and Bond expression gives you, again, that one season, one distiller. So you really get an idea of what kind of quality is happening at that distillery because they have to take it from such a specialized batch. You know what I mean? They can't take a bunch of them and blend them together to make, Jack Daniels, right? They got to get that one single goodness into a bottle. So I think it's a quality benchmark if you're interested in evaluating, a distiller. And for me, McKenna by far was just the best out of all of them.
Baddest one in the batch.
So much nuance. I like that sweetness that comes through in it. Right after that, George Dickel.
He loves the Dickel
and
too.
surprisingly, the Old Granddad.
Yeah.
And then Evan Williams.
I think Old Granddad surprised all 3 of us on the panel. I think we can all say that.
I tell you.
Yeah.
That McKenna was good. I'm telling you. I'm raving about McKenna.
So yeah, and a lot of people do. I mean, Google it if you don't know. But the McKenna 10-year Bottled and Bond is a special thing. Regular McKenna, same thing. You should taste that too, just like you should taste regular Old Granddad, and then tell me what you think about differences. Maybe we'll do that on a podcast at some point. So that's where I'm at with the Bottled and Bond.
Okay, and let us get your impressions too of what if you had a chance to taste some of these that we've been tasting here on the episodes 1 and 2. Give us what you think in the comments. Let us know. Give us some feedback. If there's something you want us to try to revisit, also put that out there in the podcast. And then don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Instagram. So we want you to
subscribe. Alerts.
Also,
Instagram.
high-proof bourbons like these hundreds and stuff like that. Sometimes it's smooth and you don't taste the actual. You don't taste the proof, right? So the 100 proof sometimes is real smooth. Like this is smoother than that, right? And sometimes that in the cup.
Well, we'll kick off Damo's subsidiary podcast in the next few weeks called That Bitch in the Cup.
That bitch in the cup.
we want to give a shout out to our producer D. He set us up real nice. You should see the uptick in quality of our productions as we put these out. D, which one do you want to try real quick?
I knew it.
Oh, granddad.
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna give D the granddad.
We're gonna give D the granddad, but we're gonna wrap it up.
Yep.
Yeah. So we are out, and we'll see you on the next episode of Bring the Whiskey.
That bitch in the cup.
To say, we need a designation that says, hey, this is a distiller that did this, and it's all whiskey, and it's controlled, and this is going to be our moniker. And basically, the criteria was it had to be distilled by a single distillery, meaning you couldn't get your whiskey from all over and blend it. It had to be distilled in one season. All right, so we gonna get into it.
I hope so.
Just get this dickle. Now let's get this dickle.
I don't come to this show just to hang out with you guys.
Take this dickle.
So,
Take this dickle.